It's multi-purpose. You can also use it to greet in cat form while you're in cat form, because it doesn't shapeshift you out and stuff like that. Like it's usable in so many ways.
Mirror image.
But the main point is that it just allows for... It allows you to either prevent one shots, or it allows you to catch up on healing, basically. It's as straightforward as that. That's why it's good. For the obvious reasons that you would expect it to be good. Because it's an external. Now if Resto Druid had more than Iron Bark, I mean, obviously, like, I wouldn't give a fuck about this trinket existing at all. But alas, we don't live in such a world where we have that flexibility to have that. It's just a very strong external trinket. It's the same as like in Dragonflight Season 3 and Season 4 if you played during that time. In Season 3 you had the Leaf of the Ancient Protectors from, what is it called? That Warlord's Dungeon. From Everbloom. You had the Leaf of the Ancient Protectors, which gave people verse and was also a 1 minute, which is insane. And then in Season 4 you had Word of the... like something ire, whatever, from like the second rate. Which again served the exact same purpose. It was a 1 minute external trinket, which obviously as a Resto Druid it's really important to have an extra button. Not having that extra button is pretty fucking painful, not gonna lie.
Nature's Vigil.
It fucking sucks not having an external other than Iron Dark in 2025, you know? That's what I would define as garbage game design.
Surge. Wild lightning. Mirror image.
So the fact that we're able to have such a trinket is huge. Humongous, in fact.
Localized storm.
It can make a very big difference. Sometimes. Like obviously, like if you're in a pre-made and you're coordinating defenses as best as humanly possible, you can get away with not playing it, of course. That goes for pretty much everything else. But this is not a pre-made now, is it? And you don't always play with the bestest of classes. And even with the tankiest classes, you still gain benefit from having Burin equipable for you. You just catch up on globals sometimes. Stabilize a person's health bar. Fairly easily, in fact.
Localized storm. Lightning surge. Wild lightning.
Yeah, I scolded, I was about to say.
Nature's Vigil.
I hope it does.
Localized storm. Mass barrier.
Nice mass barrier.
Wild lightning.
Pretty much for those reasons that it's a really good thing. I mean, ask yourself this: when do you Iron Bark, right? It's the exact same story. When you Iron Bark normally is when you would have burned the same mechanic, literally the same.
Lightning surge. Lightning surge.
As a design, a single target,
mirror image,
you know, damage preventing mechanic, which is of course just spectacular. Now, do I wish my spec just directly had its own button other than Iron Bark for the whole group, not just one person only? Absolutely, that would be very cool. But it doesn't seem like Blizzard thinks so, so we will continue having on Iron Bark in 2025. I don't know if it's funny or sad.
Lightning surge.
You can pick one. You wouldn't be wrong with it. It's the same reason as to why I'm using Galadriel Bottle, for example. Because it's just an insane healing cooldown. Typhoon, hello? You just didn't knock the caster, dude. What? It wasn't rooted. Huh? It knocked the Rook out, which I don't care about, but it didn't knock the caster, which was casting, which is why I cast it in the first place. Motherfucker, dude. I fucking hate Typhoon. Sometimes it just glitches out so frequently. Ay, ay, ay. This fucking game, dude.
Nature's
It
vigil.
gets worse every year, I feel like. In some ways, at least.
Crashing thunder.
But anyway, the point is,
Wild
it's
lightning.
very flexible and it's really fucking strong. At this point in time, depending on the item level of the trinket version you have, like if it's mythic, it can go upwards to like 5 mil absorb, which is literally 50% of your health. It's, well, I mean, if you want to make a comparison, it's basically a minute and 30 cooldown power with shield from an Oracle Priest. Which is hilarious to even say it like that, but that's just how it is though.
Mirror
It just
image.
goes to show how strong Oracle Disc Shields are, of course. But
Lightning
basically it's an
dash.
Oracle Disc Shield of our own on a minute and 30 cooldown. Which is pretty good, of course. Better than not having it.
Crashing thunder.
Especially because the alternatives are
Wild
non-existent.
lightning.
Everything else is a fucking stat stick, which is not particularly impactful in any meaningful way.
Crashing thunder. Wild lightning. Lightning torrent. Mass barrier. Nature's vigil. Lightning dash. Crashing thunder. Wild lightning. Crashing thunder. Wild lightning. Lightning torrent. Lightning dash. Crashing thunder. Wild lightning.
You're playing the disc, please? I would like to ask if you could card Blazicon and
Crashing thunder.
Mugsy Jug. Yeah, but realistically speaking, most people play
Nature's vigil.
Mugsy Jug and Mr. Pick Me Up as Disc Priest. In dungeons where it's not like that heal intense, you can swap to card Blazicon plus Jugs, Mugsy Jug, yeah. But if you're asking which one to buy, I mean, it depends on if you've killed any mythic bosses, I guess, or if you don't already have Mr. Pick Me Up, I guess.
Lightning dash.
Pretty much. Because if you have like a heroic Mr. Pick Me Up, you can just buy Blazicon, yeah. And then you just swap them around based on how heal intense the key is that you feel like you need it or not, right? That's what people are doing, so. If you checked the ladder of priests, most people are using Blazicon plus Jug, and then like whenever more healing is required, they use Mr. Pick Me Up instead of Blazicon.
Attracting shadows. Arcing
Which makes a lot
void.
of sense, of course. Since, like, yeah, they have like
Crush.
decent constant healing, but not
Void crush.
quite enough. So Mr. Pick Me Up works really well for them.
Seeping corruption. Attracting shadows. Seeping corruption. Mass barrier. Arcing void. Nature's vigil. Seeping corruption.
We're gonna knock on Kirana. Back reset. Exactly does Boron do. It's a 1 minute 30 external that gives you like a damage DR technically with an like with a max amount of absorb. So basically like if for example like let's say like you're dealing with like a smallish hit to the person, right? He will just basically take reduced damage and absorb on top of that basically. I mean you can just read the tooltip of the spell I guess, of the trinket itself. But essentially it's like a small DR slash absorb pretty much. Nothing too complicated really. You can just read it. It's just like the old trinkets from like Dragonflight, like the Talisman of the Crack Shaper for example. It's the same thing. Like if the hit doesn't absorb the entire absorb, you know, the person will take half the damage basically, more or less. So like for example, if this fucker hits me for 4 million, and if I have my trinket up, I'm only gonna take 2 million instead, and I'm still gonna have 2 million more absorb ready, basically, if that makes sense to you. But if the hit absorbs the entire thing, then it just acts as an absorb only, and that's it. It doesn't do more than that. Which obviously it doesn't have to do more than that. I mean, the whole point is for me to catch up on the person, or like prevent the one shot. So, like I'm likely gonna have to use it here, and you'll see, for example. Just think of it as a mostly like an absorb, and don't stress over it too much. Would be my advice.
Nature's Vigil.
Think of it as you cosplaying priest, except your power shield has a minute and 30 cooldown instead of instead of 6 seconds. You know, that's the only analogy I can really make that would make immediate sense to you, I guess. Basically power shield, but worse because it has a longer cooldown. I'm really glad that the mage did not LOS, because I already gave him externals twice. It would have been really shitty if he LOS'd and you know, forced it to still happen, because it would happen on someone that I didn't have an external on.
Mass barrier.
Nice mass barrier. You should not be losing that, by the way, Devour. You should not be LOSing that during the normal phase. You do not get one shot by it. There's no reason to likely hide. Hiding is only gonna make it synced up with the AoE, which is fucking me over. For future reference. Like, yes, during the AoE, 100% I agree, LOS all you want. It's good. I like it, right? But if it's regular phase when nothing is happening on the screen and you're losing, you are literally fucking me over. So bad, in fact.
Crush reality. Void crush.
Just letting you know.
Dark gravity.
Maybe it's different with Priest, but like as Resto, like, you know, you remember the fact that, that they have limited buttons, so, you know, there the DK was in some trouble, but then Mage saved him with barrier.
Void crush.
Had he not done that, we would be in more danger.
Chaotic corruption.
Well, the DK would have been in more danger.
Chaotic corruption. Crush reality. Void crush. Chaotic corruption. Dark gravity. Chaotic crush reality. Void crush.
What is this, ethereal toy? It's called Infiltrator Shroud. You need to, from the last raid tier from previous season, like Nerubar Palace, you need a transmitter trinket from Kaiveza, from like the
Nature's
Nexus Princess
Vigil.
Kaiveza,
Chaotic
and then you just
corruption.
use it outdoors in any zone you like,
Crush reality. Chaotic
and
corruption.
you have like a, I don't know, like a really small percent chance to spawn an NPC, and this NPC drops you this toy. Basically,
Chaotic corruption.
that's what it is. So basically, you're unlikely
Mirror
to be
image.
able to get it unless you already have a transmitter,
Crush reality.
which most people don't because they never bothered.
Chaotic corruption. Dark gravity. Crush reality.
I just noticed I forgot to swap my macro. So I haven't been using potions at all this run. It's fine though, it doesn't matter. Healer damage after item level gains. Hehehe. We're like an entire
Chaotic crush reality.
almost 2 minutes faster than before
Mass barrier.
because of item level.
Chaotic corruption.
That's how stupid this patch, or whatever you want to call this, like event was that gave us so much
Chaotic
item level.
corruption. Dark
Ridiculous. But hey, I'm not gonna complain, right? Item level is item level. Yoink.
gravity. Crush reality.
This kind of sucks because I wish I could have timed this before the item level. Would have felt more satisfying in a sense.
Nature's vigil.
Best insults usable but very good.
Chaotic
Only in raid.
corruption.
Only in raid.
Chaotic
In keys it's
corruption.
literally worthless. Just wait for a Volt to give you one hander in craft offhand. Best in slots doesn't have baseline stats, which is fucking terrible because it's gonna mess with your secondary stats, and secondary stats are pretty damn fucking important in terms of like
Feasting void.
benefit, of course, for like every class pretty much, right? And then the other thing is like it's giving you random stats on use, like on proc, right? It's random, fully random. So like it can give you mastery when you don't need it for healing. It can give you crit, which is useless because we don't play crit in the first place. It could give you haste, even when you're haste captain, it's gonna be literally worthless. Well, you know, talking about keys, of course, not about raid and raid. I mean, anything procking is fine, I guess. But for keys, you would only want specifically verse or mastery whenever you need the healing increase. Like incredibly niche kind of procs, right?
Void
Basically.
crush.
And because of that, it's just fucking trash. And the on-use effect is always gonna give you haste, because haste is always going to be your second highest secondary stat. If it's not, then I'm concerned about you, honestly. It's kind of why it's a trash item for us. Boomy likes it because they like every secondary stat. They don't care what it is. It's always damage increase. Guardian likes it for the same reason. Pharaoh likes it for the same reason. They all like all the secondary stats, but we don't. I like verse and I like mastery. I like mastery when it's needed for healing. I like verse all the time.
Mirror image.
Which is why like basic stat sticks that always give you the same consistent stats are very sexy and cool. Things that proc completely randomly with zero control over them are not particularly sexy or cool. Which is why fucking even the Ascension enchant on your offhand is also trash
Instability.
in comparison to Symbiosis, which is a guaranteed effect every single time to be always versatility, because that's what I want it to be.
Crush.
That's what I want it to be.
Instability.
I want it to be versatility every time,
Feasting void.
because I only want verse. I don't care about extra haste, I don't care about crits. And mastery is only useful when healing is like very intense at the moment. Which, spoiler alert, it isn't particularly most of the time, right? Because damage comes in waves in these dungeons.
Crush.
That's just how content works in general.
Feasting void.
And that's exactly why it's good in raid in both scenarios, because in raid people are taking constant damage, right? More or less.
Feasting void.
But like these two pieces of content are very, very different. Like for example, like something like Candle King or like Floodgate Build Boss, Ascension would be fine. Best Insults would be fine, right? Because no matter at which point it procs any kind of stat, it would be fine, right? Because it's consistent healing, so that's fine, I guess. But for literally every other situation in the entire key, it's just absolute dog shit. Now, do you want to have that
Mirror image.
situation happen to you and have to rely on like a good proc for your weapon to be even usable? It's up
Void
to you, of
extraction.
course. Me, however, I
Nature's
would not
vigil.
want to do that. I would prefer consistent stats
Void
every
crush.
time. Or consistent procs in
Instability.
terms of like symbiosis versus ascension, of course. That's my take at least. Kind of a reason why you only see like DKs, Red and stuff using Mr.
Void
like Best in Slot
extraction.
and Boomies and
Unleash
stuff
darkness.
potentially, right? What the fuck just happened, dude?
Void crush.
We already fucked him
Void
50%. Like, what is going on? Holy fuck. Is it the Arcane? Or is it literally everybody fucking him up? Like, fuck, dude. We just engaged him, I feel like. And we already procced him and killed him. What? Okay, then. Hey, I won't
Void
complain. 3
crush.
damage, holy shit.
Void
But I
crush.
wasn't expecting it. I wasn't even looking at the HP, because normally speaking, at that point in the pool, he's like 60% or something, you know? And now he was just dead. Well, procced him in, I guess. I, however, don't want my tank to be procced. Ooh.
Void crush. Void crush. Void extraction.
But yeah, anyway, that's at least my take about the whole situation. With Best in Slots and Ascension and Chance and all that stuff.
Void extraction. Umbo way. Mirror image. Nature's vigil. Void extraction. Unleash darkness.
This one was more normal because we focused on Ascendant, which is exactly
Mass
what we should be
barrier.
doing.
Void extraction.
We slowed down here a little bit, but
Void
it's okay.
shell.
630 should be more than fine for boss. We have lost as well and stuff.
Oblivion way.
Hopefully people stay in my range, as they are right now.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh yeah, you dispel
1.
yourself. Oh, that's so good.
No upheaval. Storm Rider's charge. Oblivion way.
Well, it was pretty good to play with in that sense. Very clean. Yeah.
Nature's vigil.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Unstable
One.
way. No upheaval.
He did not try very hard to move out
Storm Rider's
for this
charge.
spell. In fact, he did not try at all.
Oblivion
We'll
way.
phase at a good moment for me.
Mirror image. Unstable corruption.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Storm's vengeance.
That was a nice convoke with 4 bites.
Void shell.
58%
Oblivion
burn
way.
compared to the usual 65. Nice.
5, 4, 3,
Devour is really far from me.
1.
He can dispel himself, but he can't heal
Unstable
himself,
upheaval.
so...
Storm Rider's charge.
Don't have range for him, but he dispelled himself, so it's fine.
Seeping corruption. Unstable corruption. Way.
I'll dispel him now because his dispel is on city still. Hopefully I didn't lock him out
Vigil.
in a sense of positioning because...
5, 4, Three.
He's fine.
2,
Oblivion
1.
Wave.
Perfect invoke lineup
No
with Heart of the
upheaval.
Wild.
Storm Riders charge.
Oh, and it's in
Storm's
melee as well,
vengeance.
so I could do it for free.
Unstable corruption.
It works. Nice. I'll let myself expire. Barely outside.
Void Shell. Oblivion Wave. Oblivion Wave.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No upheaval. Oblivion Wave. Oblivion Wave. Seeping corruption.
5,
Nature's vigil.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Storm's vengeance. Void
5,
Shell.
Oh, that was a good phase.
3, 2, 1.
Just push him, use cities to push him. He dies in the shield anyway, so.
Storm Riders charge. Unstable corruption. Oblivion Wave. Unstable corruption.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Oblivion Wave.
1.
No upheaval. Mass barrier. Unstable corruption. Wave. Seeping corruption. Seeping corruption. Storm's vengeance.
GG's boys. Well played. Respectable run, I'd say. We did mess up like a burn or two here, I think, but hey, Puntos is Puntos. I don't care. And he got Mother Load 19. Ooh, that's so playable. Of course, there's no like guarantees of anything in the sense of that we would time that 19 Mother Load, but hey now. It would be cool if we did.